today we're going to be making pop cakes. These are little cakes that were on sticks. This is the book that my sister gave me. So we're going to be attempting to make these today. So what I've got is ready-made cake. Because the first time I did them I made the cake myself and I thought, well, I can't be bothered with that, it's too time consuming. So what I've done is, if you want to come in closer, I bought these ready-made Madeira cakes. Don't use a cake which is too soft or too squishy, because you need a drier cake. So drier the cake the better. So we're going to start off with, open the cake. Now I find it easier to do the cake, especially this size, in 3 pieces. And then, come in closer, I feel like Lloyd, whatever his name is, and you just break up the cake into little pieces using your hands as best you can. This cake is a little bit moist, so it's a little more difficult than normal. So you want to break up the cake into smallish pieces, or if you have a food processor you could just pop it in the food processor, but I prefer to do it by hand, it's more fun. Break up the cake into little pieces into the bowl, as you can see, and then gently rub your fingers to turn it into like a breadcrumb consistency. As you can see, I'd already done 2 cakes before I decided to film it, so you can see it's just like breadcrumbs. So you keep doing this, breaking it up into breadcrumbs, and once I've done that I'll come back to you. What I'm going to do is now I've got my almost, I'm looking there, see, almost the breadcrumbs, but I just want to break them up a little more because there's a couple of lumps in there. So I decided I'm going to put this in the mixer just to break up the lumps. So that's all I'm going to do is put it in the mixer. I'm going to switch it on a high speed for about 4 to 5 minutes, or until just all the breadcrumbs are broken up. And then we'll continue with the next stage, which is adding the frosting. So I've done that now, and I've got my breadcrumb consistency. If you could zoom in and have a look, and you can see I've got nice breadcrumbs. So what I'm going to do now is add in this vanilla frosting. Again, I made my own frosting with Philadelphia cheese and icing, and it was really nice, but what's the point, you can do it quick. So I'm going to zoom in on what I'm doing. I'm just going to put the mixer on slow, on a low. Now you don't want to add too much frosting, you don't want it too wet, but you want it to the consistency that you will be able to stick it together, yeah? So it sticks together, so you can make it into shapes. So you don't want it too runny. So I'm going to have to get another spoon. And I'm slowly going to add, as you can see, bits of the frosting into the mixer. And you can do it very slowly and add bits in. It's starting to come together a bit now as I add more of the frosting in. This is vanilla flavour frosting, but you can use any flavour frosting that you want. Or, you know, you can make your own frosting with Philadelphia cheese and icing and chocolate, vanilla, whatever you want. You can let your imagination go wild. I've only used a little bit of this frosting. I'd say I'm using half, and it's already coming together the way I want it. It's now starting to clump together lovely. So I'm just going to add a little bit more frosting in. It's starting to look a bit like bread dough at the moment. So I'm going to test the consistency of it. If you can form that together into a shape like that, that is exactly that. So these now are now ready for me to put them into little balls. So once I've done that, I'll come back to you. Okay, so what I've been doing now, if you can see, is rolling them up into these small balls. So I'm going to do one for you to see. Just take a piece. You don't want them too big. That's the mistake we did the first time. We made the cake balls too big. So we're going to make them smaller. You don't need too big a ball, to be honest. So just roll it up in your hand. Roll it up quite firm, because you do need the cake quite firm. As long as you've got a circular shape, then you're fine. And then just pop it in the tray. And just for an example, you can make any shape you want. So for example, if you want to get your cake ball into the normal shape, like this, and then you can mould it, and you can make different little shapes, because the art of it is in the decoration. So that's the basic shape of a funny face or an owl. So you can make them any shape you want. You can mould them into owls, birds, stars, teeth if you wanted them to look like little teeth if you're using white chocolate. And you just mould it, make it look like a molar. And there we go, that's like a little ghost, or you know, if you're doing them for Halloween, or a tooth. So let your imagination go wild. So what I've got here is a whole tray. As soon as you made them, you need to chill them. So I'm going to take them straight to the fridge. And just put them in there. And leave them in there for half an hour. So if you've got them in there, you know that they are the already chilled ones. So you can start cracking on and using the rest of the dough. The next part is the fun part. So what I've done is, let's hand on here, the migraine. Is I've taken a very large bar of milk chocolate and I put it over simmering frosting water like a bain-marie, and I've now melted down this chocolate. So the next thing to do is to actually stick the lollipop stick into them, and you need to sort of like glue them to keep them in place. So these have been in the fridge now for over an hour. So they're quite hard and they're quite set. So what we need to do is take the stick and put them into the cake pot. So this is how we glue them in. Take your cake stick, your lollipop stick, dip it into the chocolate, take your cake ball and push it in. Not too far. When that chocolate sets, that will glue the lollipop stick to the cake pop. So when it comes to actually dipping it in the chocolate to cover it, they're not going to fall off or fall out. So that's the first one. I'll do another one for you to see. Put the pan in a bit closer, Dr. McGrain. Take your lollipop stick, dip it into the chocolate, take your cake ball and push it in. Not too far, but far in enough to keep it. And that will keep that in solid. And put them back. So, my next job is now, this comes to the fun part, which is dipping them in the chocolate. So I got the bain-marie with the chocolate on. I take my cake pop, and I just literally just cover
Thanks, Mr.
cake
Douglas, your recipe for key lime pie.
in chocolate, and that's it. And then decorate with any topping that you want, any which way you want. And I've got here a piece of polystyrene that I'm going to pop in, just to let them cool off. Okay, so just to show you again a nice close-up, got my piece of chocolate and the cake pop. Just coat the cake pop in the chocolate nice and thick, and a little stick. And now I'm going to decorate it with some hundreds and thousands. Pop it on the piece of polystyrene that I've got here close, and leave it dry. And there you go, just leave them all dry, and once they dry then you can put them in containers. Do not refrigerate them because they sweat in the fridge, so you best to leave them in like a cake box in room temperature. And that's it, cake pops, easy to make, fun and taste delicious. So here are the finished pop cakes. The rest of the videos won't download, you'd be glad to know. So these are the finished ones. I also run out of polystyrene, so I've put them upside down on greaseproof paper. And then tomorrow, when they're completely set, I'll take them into work for sport relief. So it's a bit of a cake pop fest. So they're easy to make, and give them a go.